everyone. I just got back from being an exhibitor at Open Sauce 2025, and I want to come on here and share my experience. I, along with my two great friends Viktor and Andrew, presented PianoPaint, a real-time and interactive MIDI visualizer. Our booth prioritized precision-level effects, visual dynamics, and most importantly, collaboration. This resulted in an exhibit full of amazing jams with accompanying visual spectacles. This video covers our open source experience, presenting our work, hearing voices of the industry, and meeting so many amazing people. First, a brief insight on how PianoPaint works. An in-depth tutorial and setup is coming out soon, so make sure to subscribe to not miss that. For now, we'll just cover the basics. My laptop runs two computer programs simultaneously, the music software and the visual software. The music software is a digital audio workstation, or a DAW, which is usually used for music recording and production. In my case, I'm using Ableton Live 11. The visual software is custom code that I wrote running in a game engine. Our setup uses some scenes from Unity as well as Processing, a Java-based graphics library. When we play a note on a MIDI device, the computer reads it into Ableton as you'd normally expect. What makes our visual software work is that we're also sending the MIDI information through a virtual MIDI port that is being listened to by the game engine. It can detect which note is played and how loud it is being played. We use that input to affect the scene, adding objects, manipulating existing objects, changing colors, sizes. The possibilities are truly endless. When the time came to travel to San Francisco, Viktor, Andrew, and I were ecstatic to show off what we've created and meet some truly amazing people. Since Andrew was an employee at an airline company, we were able to use his perks to fly free on standby. That comes, however, with some flying uncertainty. We arrived at the airport at 9 p.m. for a midnight flight with dozens of open seats. Yet, one thing leads to another, and all of those seats vanish in a blink of an eye.
It's 1 a.m. We didn't get standby. We're staying till the 6 a.m. flight.
And Viktor and I don't leave Newark Airport until 7 a.m. on our third attempted standby flight. With one seat short, Andrew was left behind, and we wouldn't see him in San Francisco for another 16 hours. We finally did all get there and settled in, early enough for time to explore the city and surrounding areas. After all, it was my first time in California. However, we had some important work to do first, even before the exhibitor load-in started. We fit most of what we needed for our exhibit into a check bag: 2 small keyboards, a drum pad, drumsticks, speakers, wires, interfaces, etc. Yet, the 2 most important pieces couldn't fly with us. You know, the ethos of PianoPaint relies on great musicians watching visuals as they play. Therefore, we needed a large keyboard and a large TV for our exhibit. Thankfully, these problems were resolved rather quickly. I scoured Facebook Marketplace the moment we landed and found a serviceable TV for $20. We were able to pick it up a few hours later. The keyboard was much harder to find for a reasonable price. It needed to have MIDI capabilities, which many listings did not have. Thankfully, after reaching out in the exhibitor's Discord server, a local makerspace group had a spare keyboard they've been meaning to get rid of, and we gladly took it off their hands. With those out of the way, we were ready for unloading and had some spare time afterwards. We explored the Bay Area, making stops at the Hiller Aviation Museum, Golden Gate Park, Alcatraz Prison, the DeYoung Museum, and some great spots in the Mission District. It was great to see a place like this for the first time and learn about the culture and history of the area.
We've arrived. Jerry, what do you have to say about the island?
It's spooky. It's quite spooky.
Finally, it was time for open sauce. We loaded in the majority of our items on Thursday and did an initial setup and some core testing. We also got a lay of the land, met our booth neighbors, and explored the other exhibits nearby. We came back Friday afternoon with the full-size keyboard and some finishing touches like posters, cable ties, and business cards. After some final testing, we are ready to exhibit, just in time for the VIP exhibitor party.
We are all set up.
PianoPaint looking for musicians. We got the screen, we got the bass, the lead, the drums, and the keyboard. All powered by the computer and Andrew's lemonade. This was the night before day one for the public, where visitors and creators could walk around and explore all of the other exhibits. This was my favorite part of the entire experience. Checking out the wackiest and coolest creations I've ever seen and meeting the people who created them. I can't emphasize how much cool stuff was here. I also met some people I deeply admire and who inspire me every day. It was a very cool and surreal full circle moment. The next day, Open Sauce begins, and instantly it's a roller coaster. You know, there's some very cool large exhibits that I had some expectations that we'd be overshadowed by some cool, more engineering booths. But to my surprise, we had thousands of people come up to our booth over the next 2 days. People who just wanted to jam and play some instruments, but many others who were interested in how the process worked and how they were able to recreate it for themselves. I was also delightfully surprised with how many amazing musicians there were and how many came up and played with us. From classically trained savants playing Beethoven to jazz students soloing over rhythmically rich grooves to people shredding on Megalovania, the amount of diversity and talent was breathtaking. And the more cohesive the players were, the better the visuals looked on the screen. I loved watching the musicians' faces when they finally understood the exact visual mechanisms that their instruments caused. It was a very cool moment. Here are some of the best jams we captured while exhibiting. This next clip features the very talented Lily Pichu and Broden. They were both extremely nice and very fun to play with. The next day, Lily Pichu came back and jammed with us for over an hour. It was an absolute blast. this was my favorite part of Open Sauce. You know, they put all the music stations right next to each other, from 3D printed instruments to custom MIDI guitars to instruments people just created on their own. So we all came together and had a giant jam, and a lot of people came and watched. Here's some clips of it. It was absolutely awesome. Finally, a very special moment happened during the second day. I've been heavily inspired both as a software engineer and a creative by Professor Daniel Schiffman, who runs the YouTube channel The Coding Train. His tutorials taught me the fundamentals of processing, which led me to create this whole project. So it was very special when he came up to my booth and asked me how everything worked. Of course, I gladly met him and showed him around.
Processing, and a few made in Unity as well. So this one is using vector fields. You hold it for longer. I'm like amazed. I think my own I recognize this sketch. Oh yeah, it's an iconic sketch in my memory. And then, yeah, like, cut out, took your tutorial and added some MIDI functionality for the processing library. It's really cool. Where are you based?
Looking back at the weekend, I think the people were the best part of Open Sauce. Everyone I talked to was so engaged and friendly. We were all in an environment that felt comfortable despite the chaos of rocket engines, robots, and hot dog track racing. It brought people out of their shells and showed a truly optimistic portrait of humanity and learning. At the end of the second day, we packed up our suitcase and donated our keyboard and TV to locals in the area.
Open Sauce 2025 coming to an end. That's great. Thank you for taking the TV off our hands. Yeah, right?
That night, we ended up back in the Mission District at an Open Sauce after party at a local hackerspace. It was the DIY mentality manifested to the highest possible level. We saw some familiar faces we exhibited with and who played our exhibit, and shared stories of a great weekend. And of course, there was a robot that shot beer into people's mouths, of course.
Oh my God!
It was a great send-off to an exhilarating weekend. Thank you so much to the entire Open Sauce team, the event staff, the creators, my good friends Viktor and Andrew who came and helped out, Lily Pichu who came and jammed with us for over an hour, and everyone else who came by, said hi, and played with us. I hope you enjoyed the exhibit, the technology behind it, and this video right here. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more stuff like this. And as always, thank you so much for watching. It's been an honor and a pleasure.